We're here with Roland Mendez.
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 Yes, sir.
We're going to talk today about your truck. What year is your truck here?
This truck is a 1997 Peterbilt Extended Hood.
Project 1. This is what the truck is called?
We're actually triple R diesel, which we've been building custom built trucks for about 8 years. We had so much of a demand for people asking us, we want a paint job, we want you to put chrome stacks, we want you to do a suicide door, something different. So me and my brother had the idea, let's make a chrome shop and start giving customers projects. And this is kind of what started it also. I named it Project 1. The headlight bracket there is kind of a cool idea. I had a friend of mine drive up to my shop in a motorcycle bike, which is an Iron Horse. We bought them, and I had a friend of mine from San Antonio do the actual bracket to follow the contour of the light. You can kind of see the actual contour of the light has the same radius. This bumper was sent to me by Southern Stamping. They sent me a blank. So we basically cut out the oval, which is the theme of the truck, and we incorporated the actual aluminum piece, which was done by a CNC machine, over the steel. The aluminum piece here was chrome plated to actually follow the contour of the chrome of the whole bumper. And then we sent it back to Southern Stamping, and they had it chrome plated for us. The grill, which is actual stainless, it's not, the majority of the billet grills you see is aluminum. This is an actual stainless grill, which is kind of like a billet grill. The front fender is an old FiberTech fender, which comes about maybe 3 inches off this line.
Okay.
We followed the contour, brought it down about another 4, followed the radius. The paint job, it's sunset orange, black diamond, and the pale yellow is actually a mix of snow white pearl and sunrise yellow. The mirrors were made in 2 days, and that was the last piece of the puzzle to finish it off. I mean, there were so many ideas of putting Project 1 here to there. It didn't look good, and that's what we ended up with. A regular cab panel usually runs right around this line. This was an Aranda cab panel. What we did, we added aluminum, welded it. We added fiberglass to it, just try to make it. We probably presented this to the truck maybe about 40 times till we had the right lines. Just to add it a little touch, I added the rivets kind of to match the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's done that. We want to do something different. The actual step was brought down about 9 inches, and we incorporated the aluminum piece there and remind everybody it's Project 1. As far as the doors goes, we actually came up with a idea to put actuators on them. That way it'll be easier to get in the door. So the actual door opens by itself, and there's 150 pounds of pressure on the actuators there. I wanted to do something totally different. I mean, there's been ideas. A lot of guys out there are doing covers over the frame. That's a true frame rail. We did countersunk bolts. We did a roll right where the frame rail ends just to make the contour go all the way back to the frame. So we wanted to do something different, and I think that's one of the finishing touches that make the truck look unique.
Well, and you could see it in your piece, the stainless.
It's kind of funny you talk about that. I mean, I try to make 90% or 98% of the truck my thing. I did it in my shop. I did this, that. My friend helped me with the grill, but at the end of the day, I needed a shock cover, and I was out of time to make the show here in Dallas. So I called 12 Gauge Customs, and he sent me a piece, and it came damaged. When UPS dropped it off, man, I was bummed out about it. So this piece here was built in 4 hours. From the time I went to the Reliance Metal to buy the steel, bend it, weld it, buff it. I mean, this was done in 4 hours. I had 3 guys do that for me. What we have is an actual 16 gauge piece. We bought a 4x10. I wanted to follow the same idea. We went and brought it down in an angle, and we did the same roll as you see up there. We did a 1.5 inch roll on the stainless. I mean, that was probably one of the easiest things to do on the truck. But then again, everybody has that's one of the nicest pieces. So I'm happy about that. A lot of guys, basically, when you go to shows, they have the hubcap, or I've seen guys do this or that. I want to do a little different. I got the whole hub chrome plated just to make it look original, but clean at the same time. The actual fender there is a FiberTech fender that I just got. When we started doing there was different ideas. I wanted the whole truck to flow together, so we brought them down about 1 foot, 10 inches. The brackets, we did the twisted steel. Of course, we put fiberglass resin underneath on a bracket just to make it bowless up in the front. The fifth wheel cover is made out of stainless. Majority of the shows you go to, everybody has a fiberglass cover. So you want to do something different, and that's what it looks like now. The logo cut out with a CNC machine, had it chrome plated, and just made the cutout out of steel. Finally, we kind of decided, let's bring it back and follow the radius that starts from the end of the cab all the way to the end. We brought it down and kind of just brought it out about 1.5 inches. All the shows you go to, everybody has them flush with the end of the end cap on the tank. We wanted to bring it in and give the stainless piece in the middle a little more creativity. That way it looks good. The tanks are strapless. Of course, we weld the bracket. We put the brackets to the frame with a radius and then make our aluminum brackets, weld aluminum to aluminum, kind of make it look cool. I got some hard rod caps here just for the fuel.
Okay.
The stainless piece underneath just make it look good together. The actual sleeper here, what we did on the inside, we wanted to get a little different with the logos and stuff like that. We went ahead and put screens up there. This year was, I told my brother, let's do something kind of motivate ourselves and our guys. This was on there like about maybe 2 months ago, and that's kind of our motivation to make the show, knowing we were going to come and compete here at the Pride and Polish Truck Show. The interior, I mean, all the lines, if you can see, follows the inside of the truck. The same paint job.
Yes.
This panel was made out of wood. Then we added fiberglass, resin. The right airspace is here for the speakers as far as what they call for. The dashboard, we brought the switches lower, and that's kind of the end result of what we wanted to do with the dashboard. And we reversed the idea for the top screens. This truck here is probably pushing between 6 to 6,500 watts, true power, DB drive audio. There's a total of 18 speakers in here. I have screens in the back on the other side of the door. The actual color scheme of the truck basically is the same from the outside in. We followed the colors just to match the seats, the line of the flame. If you can see the color from here to the door, it all goes together. The flame coming in, the orange up on top, orange up here. We had orange back there with the actual oval logo, but it was too much, so we swapped it, and it turned out beautiful. Kind of to make it look cool, we went ahead and put a screen back there. And the cool part about it is the screen goes up with a click of a switch here. So we can actually hear our music and see our videos and do something different that nobody ever that hasn't been seen in an 18-wheeler.
Let's talk a bit about this engine. There's a lot to talk about in here.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ideas was just to paint the motor and not do much to it, but man, we got into it and we started getting a little more radical. The firewall, most of the shows you go to, everybody cuts out pieces of stainless and overlaps them over existing pieces here, or they put an actual long piece of stainless on the top. You know, let's do away with everything. Let's build the whole wall out of stainless, which is 14 gauge, plenty thick. The actual tub, if you look in there, is made also out of stainless. We did the same radius, you know, just like the OEM bucket, and we did the rivets over it. The engine, we did the piping ourselves, added the twisted steel here just to add a little flavor to the motor. Everything on the truck is new, from the front to the back, fan clutch, alternator, radiator. The actual engine has a high-performance turbo, injectors. We had the ECM redone as far as horsepower we needed to be at, which was 750. We did a front end air ride, front end, we did it ourselves. As far as the clearance to the ground, right now the truck is probably on the ground in the front. It hits the ground in the back. As far as when the full backs lift up with 130 pounds of pressure, we probably have about 6 inches clearance in the front, which is plenty to drive in and out of places, you know.
Right, not to work though.
No, not to work.
Talking about chrome and stainless, I see you made a stainless cover to cover up
ECM.
The ECM, yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny you say that. Look inside of it, see what you see. There is no ECM.
Yeah.
So
Where did you guys put it?
that's something that also, I mean, there's a lot of guys that haven't done that at all. And my guy there, Anthony Triple R, says, Roland, let's do something radical. Let's get rid of all the wires. Let's tuck them in between the frame. Let's bring the ECM down to the battery box. Let's get rid of the power steering pump. There's a lot of stuff you don't see on your normal truck. The power steering, the reservoir, I mean, it's underneath here. You should actually see the actual hoses of the power steering in there.
Right.
The ECM is right behind the actual battery box. So we named it No Brainer. We named the engine No Brainer because it doesn't, when people look at it, they say, something's missing. There's no ECM.
Wow, and you guys did a great job hiding the
wires
wiring
and all that. So
all the extra
I think that was
hoses.
kind of cool to do. You know, it's something different.